So when I was about 12 years old, I read a book that stopped time. Madeleine L'Engle's A Wrinkle in Time. In it, a girl named Meg is searching for her father throughout the vast universe. And the only way to reach him is by wrinkling time itself, folding space together like a fabric so that two distant points touch. So in the story, her guide holds out a corner of her robe and says, imagine a small insect trying to go from one side to the other. That would be quite a long journey, wouldn't it? And then she brings her hands together like this. But imagine now if he goes this way. No long trip needed. The key idea, a straight line is not the shortest distance between 2 points. So the question, what if time works like that? What if past and future can fold into the present? What if the distances we think are separate from each other, separate from the sacred, separate from wholeness, what if they're not as far as they seem, but they're much closer? That's the question that Advent asks us to live with. It's disorienting, isn't it? It's like walking in the dark or waking up in the dark. I woke up in the dark this morning. How many of you woke up in the dark this morning? We're waking up in the dark, sliding into it faster and faster. We can't keep up. Today is the last day of November. Tomorrow is December. Before we know it, it's Christmas, then New Year's. But if you follow this liturgical Christian calendar, today we do something different entirely. We begin. Paul writes, the hour has come for you to wake from your sleep. The night is nearly over. The day is almost here. It's a paradox. Our gathering, the ecclesia in the Greek, the church, the people, it doesn't start on January 1st. It starts now, in the dark, in the waiting. We begin again, holding together what seems to be impossible, waiting for something that we say has already happened, waiting for Christ to be born. Wasn't he born 2,000 years ago? And what are we waiting for? We're waiting for something that's already happened to happen? That makes no sense at all. Or does it? Consider this concept that Jesus lifts up. Near. Jesus' word, not when, but near. When the fig tree's branches become tender, you know that the summer is near. Also, when you see these things taking place, you know that it is near. Near. Not a date that you can circle in a calendar. Just near. We all know something about near. So I'll share my personal story, and I hope it touches yours. So when my sister Karen was pregnant with her second child, she was impatient because she was already huge. She's quite petite like me, and she was exhausted, and she was scared because she's a scientist. She worries about everything that could go wrong with the baby to be born. And she was also scared because our mother was in hospice, and we were waiting for her to die. Two lives moving toward each other at the same time. One beginning, one ending. Both near. And the question we kept on asking was, especially to ourselves, to one another, and of course to the medical doctors, how much longer? And they'd respond, I don't know exactly, but it's near. It's near. But near wasn't good enough. We wanted to know when. We wanted control over something we ultimately had no control over. We could never control. And so what happened? Nephew Max was born on a Tuesday morning. 2 weeks later, Karen flew out from Madison, Wisconsin with Max to Rhode Island to be home with her mom, racing to get there while there was still time. And there was, just barely. And I will never forget the moment I was there in the room with them, standing there in my mother's bedroom. There in the rocking chair beside her was Karen, nursing her 2-week-old baby, 2-week-old Max, and our mother lay dying a few feet away. And I saw something else. It was from 30 years earlier. Karen nursing Max, my mother nursing Karen. The same ancient gesture, the same tenderness, the same fierce love. The fabric folded, a wrinkle in time. Past touched present, touched future, beginning touched ending. Have you known such moments? That, I think, is what a wrinkle in time looks like. And we're transported by love. But here's what else near means. It doesn't always work out the way we hope. Our mother died a month later. Karen was not there because Max had been hospitalized for several weeks with strep and staph infections. He was too young to make the trip in the first place. And now he was fighting for his own fragile life while our mother was losing hers. Karen had to choose: newborn son or dying mother. She couldn't be in two places at once. So she wasn't there when our mother died. But I believe she was near. So what does near really mean? I think near doesn't mean that we always get what we want. Near doesn't mean that everything works out. Near doesn't mean that we won't have to make impossible choices or live with terrible absences. Near just means near. Reminds me of David's story from last week, where David talked about sensing Claude near, touching that soft glove to keep his hands warm. Claude's glove. Near, close, present. Whether things unfold the way we want them to or not. So that's why Advent is disorienting, if you're wondering. Is it just me? Am I disoriented? Are these readings disorienting? Yes. On purpose. Isaiah writes, in the last days. Paul writes, you know what time it is. Jesus writes, that day and hour no one knows. The reality? Consider the reality. Isaiah wrote those words, that vision 28 centuries ago, and we are still waiting for swords to be turned into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. Paul said liberation was nearer than when we first believed. That was 2,000 years ago. And Jesus said, be ready, because the realm of God is inbreaking at an unexpected moment. And we're still waiting. We're still watching. We're still hoping. What Advent asks? Remember a birth 2,000 years ago. The inbreaking. Christ is born. Anticipate the fulfillment of that vision. And practice experiencing the sacred in this present moment, right now, right here. Already and not yet. Memory and hope, all at the same time. After the angels sang on that holy night, when Christ was born, when baby Jesus in a manger, the empire went right on being empire. Herod went on murdering children. Rome still occupied Israel. Violence, justice, and cruelty, nothing changed. And yet, so what kind of ending was that? It's not a timeline. I think of it more like a spiral. It's not a plan. It's more like a practice. We live in the wrinkle of time. We live in it. In the fold between what was and what will be. Even when they don't touch the way we hoped. So time, chronological time, does not make sense in Advent. It's a different kind of time. Sacred time. Kairos time. Time outside of time. Do you know such time? I think you do. I think about when you hold your grandchild, some of you, and suddenly you're holding your own baby again. Or maybe as you hear Gabriel's voice, you imagine your own baby. Decades collapsing in time. Or you stand at your beloved's grave and you feel both their absence and their presence. Along with the anger that near isn't here. Or when you sing an old hymn and the voices of the ancestors that you can almost hear who used to sing with you. these are wrinkles in time. Moments when what seemed far away is suddenly impossibly near. But near isn't enough sometimes, is it? It doesn't heal the sick baby or bring back the dying mother. Near is just that, it's near. Close enough maybe to break your heart, but not enough to fix it. And yet, that, I believe, is when the sacred shows up. Those moments. In the near but not enough. In the wrinkle that doesn't smooth everything out. In the fold that holds both joy and sorrow, both birth and death, both presence and absence. What Jesus points to is near, at the door, right at the door. Not that everything will work out, just that the sacred is near, that love is present, that all of us are held in that love. We can let go. We need to let go of our illusion of control. We are held. We are held even in that hospital room with the sick baby, even in that bedroom with the dying mother, even in that terrible space between choosing to be in one place and wanting to be in two places at the same time. Near, right at the door. Whether it opens the way we want it to or not, near. So what do we do? Jesus says, keep awake. Watch for the signs. The fig tree knows. Your body knows. Your dreams know. Paul says, live as if the day of justice has already come, because in some ways it has. In every act of kindness, in every choice of dignity. And I say, look for it in those wrinkles. Places where time folds, where far becomes near. Because if you look and you stay awake and you keep watch, you'll see, you'll hear, they're everywhere. The beautiful ones and the terrible ones, the heartbreaking ones, the ones that give us what we long for and the ones that leave us aching. Pay attention to all of it. And remember, you are beloved. Every single one of you. Not because of what you believe or how you behave, just because you are. Not someday, now. In the wrinkle, in this holy, ordinary, blessed, broken moment, love is near, right at the door. Even when the door won't open, even then. And so let's walk there together. Amen. So please join in our sermon response.